Good night, everyone. I'm Janaya Arbina from ENG 220 News, reporting on how the death penalty does not deter crime within the country. Researchers suggest a potential connection between the death penalty and reduced crime, but ongoing debates challenge this claim. Japan officials and locals insist that the death penalty deters crime, but empirical studies debunk this claim and highlight the death penalty's ineffectiveness in deterring crime. Similar findings in Canada, Bangladesh, and Sudan raise skepticism about the global efficacy of the death penalty as a crime deterrent. Experts argue that factors such as socioeconomic conditions and law enforcement practices play a more substantial role in influencing crime rates. Belize, grappling with gang-related violence, exemplifies how the allure of belonging and economic opportunities within gangs might outweigh the fear of executions, rendering the death penalty ineffective. Advocates for alternatives emphasize the need to focus on addressing the underlying cause of criminal behavior and implementing strategies that prioritize rehabilitation over punitive measures. Moreover, concerns about wrongful convictions, ethical questions, human rights, and the psychological impact on society add weight to the growing global debate on reevaluating the death penalty.
Good night, everyone. I'm Michael Morris from ENG 220 News, reporting on the influence of race and socioeconomic status on the likelihood of imposing the death penalty. And we got a fascinating story on deck tonight. We're diving into the intricate world of capital punishment in the Caribbean, where historical influences are sparking concerns about fairness, especially when it comes to racial and socioeconomic disparities. The Caribbean, a melting pot of cultures with rich history, is right in the thick of a global conversation on the death penalty. People are asking tough questions about how it's being applied, and if there's a growing worry about potential biases based on race and economic status. You see, past colonial influences have left their mark on legal systems in the region, and that's got folks raising eyebrows on about how fairly the death penalty is being handed out. Recent research is shining a light on the subtle ways ethnicity and economic status can influence court decisions, making it clear we need to take a closer look at these factors in the Caribbean. Now, switch gears to the United States, and a historical analysis tells a tale of persistent racial disparities in the death penalty. It's a reminder that we've got work to do in addressing these issues within the constitutional framework that governs capital punishment. But hold on, there's more. Recent studies of rulings by the Judicial Council of the Privy Council in the Commonwealth Caribbean suggest a changes in the air, influenced by legal rules, individual perspectives, and political philosophy. It seems the landscape is shifting. In a nutshell, the Caribbean is wrestling with some deep-seated inequalities in capital punishment, shaped by race and economics. While strides have been made, ongoing challenges underscore the need for a deep understanding to ensure a fair and impartial criminal justice system. It's a delicate dance, balancing historical legacies with the pressing call for fairness to safeguard the basic human rights of everyone involved.
Good night, everyone. I'm Christy Francisco from ENG 220 News, reporting on how the argument for and against the death penalty evolved globally. The global evolution of arguments for and against the death penalty reflects changing perspective influenced by several key factors, first of which is gender divisions. This key factor has played a significant role with studies showcasing men's greater support for capital punishment compared to women. Men often base their stance on factual analysis, whereas women lean towards empathy and emotional consciousness, leading to more lenient perspectives. Secondly, educational level. This key factor has also shaped opinions, particularly among those studying criminal justice, law enforcement, or attaining higher education. Such individuals tend to oppose the death penalty, emphasizing factors like cost, emotional toll, and the need for proportional punishment reflecting a more informed and nuanced understanding. Thirdly, racial debate has also highlighted systematic disparities in the justice system, with non-white individuals facing harsher sentences and wrongful convictions. This disparity has led to increased oppositions to the death penalty among non-white populations due to feeling the vulnerability and injustice. Lastly, political will has also played a pivotal role impacting the overall sentiment towards capital punishment. Countries' evolving positions, influenced by corruption, inefficiencies, and societal shifts, have seen changes from supporting executions to implementing or abolishing the death penalty altogether. In summary, the evolution of argument for and against the death penalty globally has been influenced by gender divisions, educational perspective emphasizing a more informed approach, racial debates highlighting systematic injustice, and shifts in political will leading to changes in legislative and societal viewpoints regarding capital punishment.
For ENG 220 News, I am Stardy Vivas. In tonight's broadcast, we bring a very interesting topic, which is the application of the death penalty. The death penalty has been a heavily debated topic for many years. The juvenile death penalty, racial death penalty, and the foreign death penalty are the most controversial crimes implemented by the governments of Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the United States. The US applies the death penalty depending on the severity of the crime. Iran tortures the criminals into false confessions that then leads to execution. In a criminal case on the 2nd of January of 2016, Saudi Arabia carried out a mass execution of 47 men convicted on terrorism-related charges, and there are reports that at least one of the 4 Shia executed was under the age of 18 at the time of the offense. This shows that Saudi Arabian authorities will execute if no one is watching. These countries are not thinking humanely. Human rights are the essence of human existence, so any criminal imprisonment of a convicted criminal must always be oriented to the protection of human rights. Back to you, Janea.
Stay tuned for our group roundtable discussion on the death penalty coming up next.